I saw something there, and he wasn't quoted. Has Imran Ahmed been punted? He did threaten the last time that he was going to lose his job, or he could have lost his job because the amount of time he was swearing. Well, in that last three calls, he did some amount of swearing. Has he got his Dan? Has he got the Dan Mac? Is Imran Ahmed about? Somebody find out. Has anybody heard of Imran? Is Imran still kicking about, or has he been punted? And as we speak, I still haven't been given my. But on the hunt of Charles Green's number, we've got a positive lead, another positive lead. We've got an undercover work happening as well. Cover your work special. We're working on something else. God willing. Chuckles Green, you can hide, but you can't hide forever. You need to be lucky all the time. I only need to be lucky once. I've got feelers out everywhere. The amount of people are tracking you down for your number. Once we get your number. So we've got your old number, Chuckles. We have got Chuckles' old number. I should have phoned it. I slipped up, I have to be honest. I totally slipped up. How I never phoned it when I had it. I really, to be honest with you, it was too good to be true. How could I not phone him? I should have. There we go. Poor Chuckles. His old number finished in 781. My phone's wait for a button. Yes, last week. Oh, I was overcome by joy last Wednesday night. I was in no fit state at all to do a show. And then for myself, the weekend comes into play. And let's get down here. Shows are out the window. For my man Tony in Barcelona. Yeah, sadly, shows are out the window at the weekend. But thanks for joining me tonight. I should try to make it a weekly occurrence on a Monday night. I was doing Monday nights for a while before I started doing the football ones. Tonight we're going to be talking about a few different things. And what we're going to do, instead of doing full 2 hour shows, we're going to break it down, make it smaller segment shows, maybe 20-25 minutes, break it down, because with this software it enables me to do a YouTube. So instead of doing big huge shows of an hour and a half, 2 hours, we'll break it down, take a wee break, a chance for you to go for a single fish and all that, put some powder on, and then we'll bring it back in. So we've got different parts of the show. We're going to break it down, the BBC and the Masonic cover-up and the paedophilia case. So we're going to break that down into a segment. So we'll leave that to the end. We're going to break down Remembrance Sunday and all the things carried on with that. So we're going to break that down into a segment. And we're going to deal with Glasgow Celtic champions and where we're going, where we're heading, how good was that, and such likes. And we'll do that in a segment. If that's alright, with the good burgers out there, with the good people. My show going out now. Coming up on show, Sonic cover up. Sorry, I'm hopeless at doing things. Sonic cover up at BBC. BBC and hold on, I'll just finish join. That's it, sorry, as I say, I've not got my lovely Libyan. I'll need to put, is anybody able to come up and do it on the spot? Crackpot McDougall time radio. This is the way forward. There was people there the other night saying they're walking along Los Angeles and New York, anywhere in the world. We've got this technology, Spreaker, any phone at all. You can download the app free of charge, as long as it's an Android 2.2 or over, or on the old iPhone, iPad. You got the Spreaker. You can even hook it up to your car. So the technology of the future is in the hands of internet Bampots. Every single last one of the crackpots out there listening is now getting technology. Free of charge, you can do half-hour broadcast on Spreaker. I'm not a sales agent for the crackpots that are doing this, but the quality is pretty good, I have to say that. And for only is it £11 a month, you get 3-hour broadcasts. And it's quite professional from the stuff that I've used before. It does the damage. A little dongle out the roof and the tinfoil cover Skoda allows me to talk to all you fanjitas tonight. And so without further ado, let's crack on with the show. Right. So retweet to retweet to retweet, tell 10 to tell 10. Get it out there. Crackpot McDougall. We're talking about Celtic tonight. Glasgow Celtic. How far can we take this team? Personally, I'm thinking now, I know we shouldn't get carried away. We've got 2 games to go and we should be looking to complete this. But in reality, Benfica are sitting there bricking it now. A week tomorrow, is it the 20th? It's a week tomorrow, so we play Benfica a week tomorrow. They're sitting there absolutely bricking it in Lisbon. They've seen what happened, they've watched it and they can't believe it. They've sold some of their best players and they're waiting to get turned over in the old Stadium of Light. Yes, indeed. They're there for the taking. Their arse is there on the chopping board. Benfica, just take them out with a wooden clout, Lenny. You know how it's done. Go over there and watch the game this week. Suss them out like you did the Barca. Sort them right out. We've already played them once at home. Now it's on their ground. This is a chance to do the double. We win in Spartak. We win in Benfica. And we're 30 seconds away from a miserable draw. Or a wonderful draw, should I say. A miserable defeat. A miserable defeat, but 30 seconds away from such a wonderful draw. And that's our away form. What a change. Brilliant, brilliant Celtic. Brilliant Neil Lennon. Transformation last season in the Europa. Gave them the platform to build. So they weren't complete novices. Just shows you what a journalist, Hugh Keevans, what he knows about football. Absolutely hee-haw. You could put it in a postage stamp. For anybody who had the pleasure of listening yesterday, I listened to a wonderful show. I was allowed on it, Beyond the Waves. A wonderful gentleman over in the United States of America, Graham. He knows a lot about football. He's got a lot of wisdom on football. Far more wisdom than that guy said than in any newspaper room across this country. These guys don't know anything about football. They're just spoon-fed shite. And any of them who know about football, they get out it right away because they realise it's no for them. They're no cracked up. It's no, they can't sit in that wee clique. You know what I mean? Because obviously there's a wee clique of Freemasonic occultists who are probably there batting off any recalcitrant Tims who want to come in there, and they only want to brainwash the dafties like Greedy or Keevans, you know, all the ones who want to keep taking the soup. Yes, indeed. Take your 30 shekels of silver away and fucking choke on it. You fucking soup taking bastards. Sorry for the language, people. It's got to be said, know what I mean? You know it's true. Who you calling a mad crackpot? He's no writing a nugget. I'll fucking write the nugget. You present yourself to my tinfoil cupboard scored of the new. Right, come here and see me. Right, and you call me a nugget to my face, to my fazog. Right, I'll rip the single fish right out you mad crackpot, you calling me a nugget. I'm no writing a nugget. I'm fully certifiable. I just can't get the fucking directions on my TomTom to take me to Carstairs to haul myself in. If I could get myself booked back in the other night, believe you me, I could be doing with a lie down, some sedatives, a sedative lie down. I could be doing with some of that, you know, calm me right out, chill me right out to the fucking max. I can tell you that. I'm wired to the moon now, you know. I'm tuned to the moon. I'm ready to go. I'm all for a revolution here. Don't get me fucking wired. You get me wired up. You talk to me, I'll tune a brick, you know. Yeah, mad crackpot. Right, anyway, let's get it going. Use our air. Use air fan duties. Right, so we're talking about a wonderful Celtic team. I came close to doing it last night, but tonight I'm going to do it. I'm going to go and reserve through booking.com a couple of hotels in London for the Champions League final. Well, I've got two chances. I've got Barca and I've got Celtic. And here, I'm telling you this now, Barca's got no chance. They have been exposed, and other teams are going to rip them a new arsehole before they get near the final, unless they get Piqué and Puyol back to full fitness or sign somebody in the January window, because they're going to get their arseholes ripped. They come up with Man United or anybody, even the Royalists from Madrid, sadly, will rip them a new fucking arsehole, which they almost did in that second leg in the Copa. So, yeah, in the Bernabeu. So they have to be careful, Barca, because their grip on it, yeah, they're a wonderful team. I still maintain that Xavi has lost a little bit. Iniesta, brilliant he is, he never played it against Celtic. Was he overawed by the fans? You have to say the display. Every team, any team would have been shaking in their boots. When I looked at the lineup, Mascherano's head was twisting all about. Celtic had a confidence and a swagger. They'd come into the Lions Den. Suddenly, the greatest team in the world were standing facing the maddest team, the craziest team, the best club. We stood there like lions and we ripped them a new arsehole. We showed them there's more ways to play football than all your wee tippy-tappy passing football. Lovely as it is, and as much as I like Barcelona, there's many ways to skin a cat. Now, the way they play it and the way they do it, hold the possession. You can see, I mean, if they've got a good defence or semi-decent defence, with the amount of possession they've got, right, you just need a semi-decent defence and they'll hold it out and they'll rip teams a new arsehole, as they've been doing with Messi, Xavi, and Iniesta. The wonderful play. You've got Pedro, you've got Fabregas feeding off it, you've got Sanchez, so you've got all these players, Villa, so they're pinging the balls about and nobody can handle it. And only very few teams get a result out of them, you know, in Europe in the last few years in the La Liga. For the last 6 years, they've won the Champions League 3 times. Since 2006. They've got a wonderful record. So the achievement that some bitter Hun called a fluke on some no-mark radio station earlier on, you know, this wasn't a fluke. This was sheer tactical genius. because there's more than one way to skin a cat to win a game of football. And so for Barcelona, nice football though it is, the cutting edge that they missed, and it was thwarted by football players, defenders who were at the top of their game. We had Kelvin Wilson, Kelvin Bloody Wilson, many people have said. And it was phenomenal in the last few minutes, throwing himself all over the place, batting things away, sliding in. And the whole game, the whole defence, at every different point. Fraser Foster with point blank saves, fingertip saves onto the bar. We could have been beat easily in that game. We could have won the game easily. 3-0 it could have been. By the way, sitting outside Celtic Park last night, touting my fare like a high-class taxi prostitute, as I was sitting there waiting for a fare, and he was getting hounded, and fucking hell, the poor boy, he was hobbling away. He looked in a bad state. I shouted at the security guard, boy, should he be driving if he's in that bad state? Get him in the back of my motor. I'll sort him out with a live interview and a free lift up the fucking road, you know what I mean? He's driving about in the Mercedes. Anybody know anything to do with Lenny, tell them, wire me up with a Mercedes and I'll be a chauffeur to the boys. Come on, get me in there as a chauffeur. We'll do live shows, we'll do press conferences with a tinfoil covered Mercedes. Get me in there, somebody, come on. I love you to bits, you're not all bad. All you've done, Collie Willies in there. Mr. Lawwell, I love you to bits. What you've done with Celtic recently, I've been against you many times in the past, but the way we're going and the way you took the stance in the summer, a lot of people haven't seen what you did during the summer. And that's the way it has to be because these bastards in the media. But c'est la vie. You played a blinder, and for what you're doing now, you're playing a blinder. So deal me in, sunshine. Deal me in, Kunta Kinte. Come on, cockle picker. Get me in on the ground level. Get me in as a chauffeur. Because the boy Tony Watt had been out hobbling. And there was these fannies who were sitting out there smoking away. So I had a good mind to say, get out the fucking way. This boy's lungs can't be polluted by your fucking filth, by your nicotine. They're sitting there puffing away, going, oh, we got a picture, look, we got a picture. Get out, man. The boy was standing there hobbling, and all the people are signing autographs. Get out his fucking way, he's injured. He's a star player, and yous are having Celtic. What are you playing at? Why was that boy forced to get through there? If he's got an injury, say, look, hold on a minute. Come back another time. We'll sign another time. Or at least let him sit in the motor and rest his leg. Say, hold on a minute. He had to stand. He hobbled. He was hobbling. He was injured. The picture was in the paper. Our star youngster. I'm telling you, Barcelona wouldn't have happened at all. That boy, he needs protection because he's a star. He is an absolute legend, that boy at 18. That moment, that goal was like John Hartson scoring against Liverpool. See, the second goal, the clinching goal, the beyond all doubt, even though it nearly wasn't, but with 9 minutes to go against most teams, when you go 2-0 up, you know that's a game-setting match almost, you know what I mean? And when he put that in there, I mean, because everybody's on tender hooks thinking we had this 1-0 out, and to be honest, I don't think we could have. Well, we wouldn't have, you know what I mean? We didn't, so we needed that goal. And boy, oh boy, I mean, the place just was... So why that boy had to stand out with people smoking with a sore fit? For anybody at Celtic, get your finger out and sort that boy out. With a contract, with a chauffeur, with a crackpot, and I'll look after him. Nightclubs, pubs, anywhere, I'll be on his 24-hour beck and call. With black Tommy boy, grab me. Like, Tony Watt, Tony Watt. Where are you, Tony Watt? Where are you? That's it, Tony Watt in the motor. I know I'm a terrible chanter, I do apologise. Right, so we're taking this to Wembley. And I went down there, as I say, a year and a half ago, watching the great Barcelona hump Man U. And I remember chats with Scousers who were always down there, 80s and 90s, and they said, park up in Watford. So for anybody who's is thinking of going early, I would recommend the Premier Travel Inn down in is it the Premier Traveller, the one, the purple one with Lenny Henry, aye, that one, whatever it is, Lodge to Lodge, aye, Premier Lodge, whatever it is. You know what the Premier in, aye? We stayed in Hemel Hempstead, 7.9 miles to Watford. There was other places, but it was right on, it was free parking and it was right in the shopping centre of Hemel Hempstead. As I say, it was 7 miles to Watford train station. And from Watford, you're a half an hour journey straight into Wembley. And it's £1 at the train station at Wembley. It's on a pound parking at Watford, and then it was £7.90 or £7 or whatever, and then the Wains on total was less. It was £20 for getting about London, £20 getting all about London, and I was parking the car at Watford Junction. Any hotel down there was even hotels in Watford, but decided to go to Hemel Hempstead because it was right in the middle of a shopping centre. So get in there early for Wembley. I'm getting in there in the 2 counts at Barcelona. I'll get 2 chances there, and with the away game, hopefully I'm going to get a chance to get more away games under my belt, so that I get first dabs when we get the tickets for Wembley. The picture on my Facebook, my Twitter, that was from my way at the back of Wembley when I was there a year and a half ago. And I think we've got every chance of making it there this time again, without a shadow of a doubt. This team is bound for greatness. I just hope we can get them there this year. Because I don't think we're going to be able to keep Wanyama for much more. If we can keep him this season and punt him for the 25 million or close to it, we should be asking for 25 and accepting 20 million. And I think that boy shouldn't be thinking Man U or English Prem. He put that display on against Barca for one team only, for Barca. The boy has got potential and he knows it. And the boy knows what he's got, and I think he knows Barca. On that display, if they spend 15 million on Rigobert's song or whatever that crackpot Roberto song, who is that fucking sing a song a sixpence? He should have been sent off in the first half. Oh, sing a song a sixpence. He should have been singing for his supper, that fucking crackpot, before the first. He should have been in for an early bath, singing fucking doolally fucking. There was no way. Why was he not sent a professional foul, repeated fouls? He should have been given a warning. All right, the referee in the first half, maybe they said, look, fucking calm it or you're off, cockle picker. And that was the bottom line. He never did it. He did it again. Mascherano should have been fucking sent off. Last man, he pulled him down. But anyway, calm down. As I say, we're looking to get booked into Castells for sedatives. A sedative night from. Wire this up. Castells. So we've got the potential, and it's going to take a lot, and it's going to be hard, and it's going to be backs to the wall performance. But what we are, and we have to wake up and realise this now, we are a classic counter-attacking team. That's what Celtic are now. We're a counter-attacking team. And it's not too bad. It's a good thing. I'll touch on it later on, what we're going to talk about. We're going to finish this. We'll do 30 minutes there if I can. And it's a bit of a tie-in. But the guerrilla warfare tactics that Michael Collins inspired for the rest of the world to use, where a smaller force, an inferior fighting force, takes on a greater opponent of greater might and power, and they fight on their level and on their terms. So if Celtic went out onto that park and put 3 or 4 up front and went hell for leather, we know we would have been beat 4-0, 5-0. What is there to, there's no way of doing anything else. There's no a game. So when Barcelona can run at $500 million a debt, and they can have wonderful players like Xavi, Iniesta, Messi, Pedro, Villa, Sanchez, Mascherano. The only way we can cope, or look to cope, is to play to our strengths and hit them on the break. Or score from corners. Their weakness, the lack of height. So We exploited it in 2 games, scored 2 goals, and then the one in the counter attack with Tony Watt. There was other times in the new camp where we had a chance on the counter attack that we could have exploited. I still maintain if Samaras had stayed on, those chances with Commons, if him and Commons had a chance to link up in the second half, I believe we could have done it. But c'est la vie. The potential that is there in Celtic is tremendous, absolutely tremendous. The potential that sits there to get us at least quarter-finals, possible semi-finals, without a shadow. Whatever team we get in the last 16, then they're going to fear us if we get that. And I think we're going to go to Portugal and actually win. I think we're going to win, and we're going to win the next 2 games. Hopefully Barca will falter and we can go in there first. But for some of the teams that are in first place just now, actually, second place would actually be quite well. Teams like Schalke, Porto, I think it is anyway, I'm sure I saw yours. Whatever other teams are there. But when you really, it's not being overconfident or over arrogant, but it's really examining how Barca have ripped all to pieces. And so if we can defend against a team like that, that's got to give all those players confidence. I remember seeing under Tommy Burns the confidence rise in the domestic season after we get pumped out by Paris Saint-Germain after getting a football lesson. And they went on to play some good football. Now this team now, they're going to raise their game. They'll win the league, but hopefully not too much I can to have a bit of excitement and shut up all the Armageddonists out there. They can Armageddon out of here, geese peace. Because we're talking about the only show in town, the best team in the world, 125 years old. And here I've not even spoken about that wonderful service. If we'll join it in with the remembrance, the remembrance part, that's what we'll do. The wonderful service will be in the remembrance. So as I say, we're finishing up in a few minutes, we'll take a wee break, we'll reconvene, do another part, 3-parter, but we're breaking it down into 30-minute segments. You can go for a single fish, do what you want, and come back in 2 minutes. We'll put a tune on to start off the next wee show. But yeah, so I really feel that you should book up with booking.com, get a nice wee hotel somewhere around about Watford. It's only £1 if you're driving down, that is, or if you're getting a hotel from Watford, straight from the Wembley Stadium, straight from there, Wembley. And the way they've got it, obviously if there's 80,000 of us, whatever is going to be there, but they've got a wonderful link out of Wembley. Don't take your car, park your car at Watford and get the train out there for a few shekels, about £5, £6, £7, £8, 30-minute train journey out to Watford, and you're straight on the M1 and M25, M1, whatever, and you're out there. It's unbelievable. I was back up, it was about 7-hour drive, 6-hour drive, the time we got all our stuff. Well, we left the hotel and just parked the car at Watford Junction and drove up. It was a hard drive. I had to pull in at the lay-by. I was cream cracking after a long day. I think we'll take a couple of nights down there this time. It was because it was a bank holiday, that's right. I wanted to come up. It was a bank holiday to make some shekels in the bank holiday night. That's why we drove back up that night. I should have took an extra night. But anyway, park up in Watford for Wembley, because we're going there. Because I feel even if it's Milan or Juventus, Chelsea, when I want Man United or Chelsea, I take Arsenal. When I want Real Madrid, I've got to play them at some point, but God willing, if we get an easy one in that 16, that's the be all and end all. If we get a kind of not too big a one, we can get more confidence. We get into the last 8, we're playing for the last 4. Who would you take for that? Will you take anybody? You know what I mean? If it has to be Man United, bring it fucking on. Home and away, we'll do them. Yeah, we could do Man United. Last 8 for a Champions League semi-final. Champions League semi-final. So if we come second, see the good thing is, the first one, if we come second, then the first leg that we play will be at home. We play the first leg at home if we come second in the Champions League group stage. So we really need a lesser team that we can get a decent game, a couple of goals hopefully, and then go there and then get a result. And then ideally, this team, a counter-attacking team, we want to be doing it away first and home last. I think anyway. With the fans, the people behind us, we can produce it on the night to get a positive victory. So we can go away, do the damage away, get the goal, 1 each, 2-1 to us. The battle's over, a 2 each draw, something like that, a 2 each over there. We come back, we can sit back 0-0, 1-0, we can be winning 1-0, knowing that they have to score 2. We can win a 1-0 game or whatever, or any positive result, as long as it's not a 3-3. And it can be done against any team. This team has got the ability to defend, and you've got Wanyama, you've got a midfield, and you've got an attacking force that can spring hard and do it fast and do it positive. Then we'll score goals, we'll create chances, and other teams will fear us. That's the bottom line, and that's the way forward. Glasgow Celtic, champions of Europe. Keep the faith, keep it real, get booking for Wembley. It's on my shopping list now. I've got a positive vibe, I've got a positive feeling that night wasn't our biggest night this season. We all think this was amazing. We're all thinking this was great. But this team has got something so good about it that quite possibly we're going to see an even bigger night. After all, it was a great team that we played, a great team who I think is on the wane. And if you ask me at this point, having been to more Barcelona games, I've seen more Barcelona game time than I have Celtic, because, as I said before, I've got a boycott of Scottish football. I can say to you now, Barcelona are not equipped to get themselves through the Champions League knockout stages with that defence. They've got no chance. Unless they strengthen and bring somebody in, or unless they get Piqué and Puyol back and restore the strength in the defence, then they've got no chance. They're going to get ripped a new arsehole by somebody. So we have got the ability in defence, in midfield, and attack, and a goalkeeper who is, there's no much out there who can be able to pull off the saves and consistently as him. The ball gene is pulling it off. So we've got a world-class goalkeeper. We've got a world-class defensive midfield player. I don't know what he is. He's a playmaker. He's a ball winner. He's a defender. He's everything. He's just Victor. He's Big Vic. He's a man. He's just Big Vic. Wanyama. Oh, what a guy. He's a superstar this season. 67. What a guy to choose 67. That's the thing I think is fated about us with that boy there. He's got no fear. He's playing like a boy of 24, 25. He's going to be a world superstar for Barca. I hope he is anyway. I hope they come in. If he's going to be going anywhere, I hope it's to them. I wouldn't want him to go to Real Madrid. He's got the potential to go right to the top. I just hope we can take him to the top this year. He deserves to be at the top with us. Big Vic, status to win the big cup. Come on, big chap. Somebody tell Big Vic we love him. Saying that, I think he knows that. Right, 35 minutes. Over and out. Away from my mellow birds. away to get some cash and carry and the old scampi stocked up. So I'll love yous and leave yous in 35 minutes, and I'll be back in a couple of minutes. And arrivederci. See you after the break.